All right, so we're going to talk about page 4 of the book. Just a reminder for violins, this high string is your E string. This is your A string. That's the one for A that we're going to be talking about today. The next string over is D, also the string we're going to be focusing on, and then G, okay? So if you're a violin, it's your two middle strings, high one being A, next one being D. If you're a viola, your closest string right here will sound like this. Should be an A string, okay? Next string over is your D string, okay? Now with cellos, okay, your string right here, farthest away from you, okay, that will be your A string. It'll sound like that. Next string over would be your D string, okay? Basses, you're the weird one, right? So, furthest string far away is G, okay? Next string over is your D string, okay? Then the next string over there, next one is an A string. It'll sound like a low A. It'll sound different than the violin, viola, cello, okay? Now we're looking at page 4, which focuses on the D and the A. Bass players, yours will sound slightly different than this because your D is the higher sound and your A is the lower sound. Everybody else, you're gonna sound like I sound. So I'm gonna flip the video. Okay, we're looking at page 4. So we have a bunch of D strings in a row. So it would just be rest. Remember that squiggly line's a rest. Rest. The next line is the A strings. Okay, now with here, we're flipping between D and A. Now, if you did what I asked you to do a long time ago, you colored in those letters, okay? And that you shouldn't be able to see that it's D, but D lives in the bottom of the staff, A lives on that second space. Now, that's what it's like for the violins. Violas, your D and A live in a different space, okay? Your D lives here, and your A lives up here, okay? Cello, you're a little different too. Cello, your D lives on the center line, and your A lives on the top line. And for bass, as I said, you're the weird one. Your D is also the center line, just like the cellos, but your A is going to be in that bottom space, okay? Where the note falls, that tells us what note to play. Okay, where the dot or the circle part falls, that's where it tells us what letter to play. What the note looks like tells us how long to hold each note. Okay, so with page 4 and 5, I'm going to be using the violin for most of this stuff, just because it's the easiest one for me to do at my house. But the violin, page 4 and 5, all you're doing is alternating between the D and the A string. Most of you have already passed this page, but it's just a nice review. So, you'll be switching between D and A string, okay? No fingers yet.